Hello, I am Ignace Aleya from ToleratedCinematics.com, and today I will be going over the best 20 shortcuts for Adobe After Effects. Alright, here we are in Adobe After Effects, and I will be covering 20 shortcuts for Adobe After Effects. I will actually be covering more than 20, but the ones that belong together will be grouped as one. If you are an intermediate user of After Effects, I would recommend you to watch the video anyway. We will be covering very easy shortcuts, but also maybe some shortcuts that you have never heard about. So without further ado, let's get started. I will be using my shortcuts here on my project file where I was actually working on earlier today. This is a project file that you can now buy on our website. It's an intro template where your logo and text comes up. And if you want any kind of templates, just be sure to check out our website with a link in the description. We actually sell templates for After Effects users, so you can easily change the text and export it really quickly. So with that said, let's start our tutorial. Okay, so the first shortcut is VNW. If you press the V key, it will just give you the selection tool, and the W key is the rotation tool. So if you have something like a logo right here, we have our logo, and I want to click on my logo and I want to rotate it, I can do it like that. And actually I just jump in here. I will click on my logo, rotate it, and then with the V key we can move it around that way. I know it's really easy, but it's really important to switch between these two keys very easily if you are going to use them a lot, and most people do so. Shortcut number 2, if you press the page down key, you will move one frame forward like so. If you press the page up key, it's going to go backward like so. If you hold shift while doing that, hold shift, page down, it's going to jump 10 frames at a time. So that's also really interesting if you're doing some quality work. If you want to duplicate one of your layers, just click on the layer, and instead of going to edit, duplicate, you can click on that layer, hold Ctrl and press D on the keyboard. I know it's really simple, most people know this shortcut, but it's one of the important ones out there. Shortcut number 4, if you want to change the position, scale, rotation, or opacity, just press the P key on the keyboard for position, the T key for opacity, the R key for rotation, and S key for scale. It's actually really simple to retain: S for scale, R for rotation, P for position. The only odd thing is T for opacity, but it's transparency obviously. So maybe you can retain it that way. Also noting, if you hold shift while doing that, hold shift and press R, it's going to stack up these effects, because if you currently hit R, it's going to just show R. If you press T afterwards, it's going to switch the rotation with the opacity. And if you hold shift, you can stack up these things if you want to animate them together. It's easy to know it can be done that way. Shortcut number 5, if you have a project file and you want to reveal all the keyframes of a particular layer or multiple layers, you can just press U on the keyboard, and that will reveal all the layers that you animated for that particular layer, like so. If you want to add a new solid layer, you can simply hold Ctrl, press Y on the keyboard, and that window will pop up. You can click OK, and then if you want afterwards to change some of the properties of that solid layer, you can hold Ctrl, hold Shift, and press Y on the keyboard, and then you can change the colors right here, and then just click OK, and that solid layer will be changed. You can also do that for adjustment layers and other things. If you just select that layer, hold Ctrl, Shift, and press Y, layer settings will actually pop up. Shortcut number 7, if you want to render out a small portion of your entire timeline, you can simply go to that position that you want to start it at, press B on the keyboard, go to the end of that position, press N on the keyboard, and that way you have a selection and it will only render out this selection. Now, to render this selection, you can press 0 on your numpad, and that will do a ramp preview. You will see that it will fill up this area with a green kind of line. Once this is entirely green, you can play it back real time, because as you can see right now, it's in slow motion. But if you will play this portion back, it will be real time. So that way you calculate your renders. If you want to split one of your layers like this one here, we can hold Ctrl, Shift, and press D on the keyboard. That will split our layer like so. Shortcut number 10, if you have a texture like so and you want to switch between blending modes to see which one fits best for your layer below it, you can toggle the switches, you see your modes, and you can do it like this, but this is going to take a long time to actually test everything out. So if you have one selected with the layer, you can hold shift and press plus or minus on the keyboard, and that will shift through them from plus going down and minus going up. So that way you can quickly shift through all of these and see which one works And like, I kind of like this one, I will use this one, and you're ready to go that way. If you have a layer and you want to quickly go to the beginning or the end of your layer, you can click on that layer and press the I key for the in point of your layer or the O key for the out point of your layer. So that way, quickly switch between them. Alright, shortcut number 12. If you work with lights or null objects and you actually want to see what you're working on, if you have nothing selected, so you click away, you're sure that nothing is selected, the only thing that you will still see on your canvas is your light and your null objects. For me, sometimes this is a pain because I just want to see my result as it is. So what you can do is hold Ctrl, hold Shift and press H on the keyboard, and that will make them disappear, and if you hit it again, it will return. So that way you can switch between these things. If you have a layer with some expressions added to it and you want to see all the expressions at once, you can simply hit EE twice, so just double tap the E key on your keyboard and that will reveal all the expressions for that layer. Shortcut number 14. If you have a layer with a mask applied to it, you can simply click on that layer, press M on the keyboard to reveal the mask right here, and then you can switch between the subtract or add. And if you want more settings about that mask, you can tap the M twice, like so, and that will reveal all of the mask settings right here, so you can change the mask expansion, the opacity, and so on. Shortcut number 15. If you have a layer with multiple keyframes like so, you can switch between the keyframes with this arrow, but sometimes you have to really click on the arrow exactly because sometimes you can actually delete one of the keyframes. So to do this with a hotkey, you can press the J and K key on your keyboard to switch between them. J going backwards, K going forwards. Shortcut number 16. If you have a layer selected, well, a keyframe selected, you can right click, keyframe assistance, easy ease, or you can just click on your keyframe again. I'm doing it again. Click on your keyframe and press F9 on the keyboard, and that will make an easy ease to your keyframe. Again, a very easy one, but you have to know how. And also, if you hold Ctrl and click on that keyframe again, it's going to get back to normal. So maybe you didn't know that one yet. If you have a big composition with many layers and you want to switch or toggle between them, you can click on one of these layers and then hold Ctrl, Alt, and then just with the up or down arrow, you can switch between them like so, very quickly. If you want to add texture composition, don't just go to the text tool right here. I know in Photoshop, if you press T on the keyboard, it's going to reveal your text tool, but in After Effects, if you press T, it's going to reveal the opacity properties for one of your layers that you currently have selected. If you hold Ctrl on the other hand and press T, you're going to get your text tool right here. If you have a light or a camera in your scene, go to the camera and you double tap A, and that will reveal the options for your light or your camera like so. So you can change everything in there. Alright, and then lastly, shortcut number 20. If you do some precision work and you have a layer selected, you want to just toggle one of the positions down, like right here, the door closes. I think that's really important for me. So I will go to that layer, select my layer. Well, actually, it's right here. I will click on that layer and click on the asterisk key, which is that little star on your numpad. And if you click on that, it will make a marker like so. You can right click and delete that marker again. And you can add some more. And depending on which layer you have selected, it will add that marker to that layer. If you don't have any of your layers selected and you add a marker, it's going to add your marker to your entire composition right here in your timecode. Alright, these were the 20 shortcuts that every After Effects user should know. And if I missed one, be sure to let me know in the comments below so other people can see that and you help them out as well. If you like this video, give it a like and also subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.